Today is the day that I remove this crazy plant from my Nordic flower bed. If you watch my recent garden tour video, I mentioned that this plant I started from seed and it was really great to start. It gave me no problems whatsoever, but it really has done quite dramatic for this place. The plant is just growing absolutely crazy and huge and tall, and it is giving me 2 blooms, I think, so far. I don't think that this is the plant that is going to make it in my garden, and right now it's just looking like a huge weed. This one is lion's ear, also known as lion's tail, and it has other names that I will put on the screen. I am sure that it grows great in other people's gardens, but in mine it has become an eyesore. Now that I have this space, this little corner clean, I don't know that I'll be doing anything really about it because it doesn't look like it was anything there to begin with, and it doesn't look that bad. From the street view, it just looks like there was nothing there to begin with. Hey, have you been enjoying my videos so far? Are you getting inspired, or are you maybe learning a thing or two on how or how not to do things? Then do me a favor, share this video or really any of my past videos with a friend, with somebody in a group that you think may benefit from watching them. And thank you. In this part of my retainer wall, I direct sow a bunch of zinnias. And I really just wanted to be able to have an area where I can just come in, get a bunch of blooms without having to worry to losing all of the blooms from one plant. And I have lots of zinnia plants here. The zinnia varieties that I have here are a combination of the queen lime variety, and if you're not familiar with the queen lime variety of zinnias, they are these beautiful blooms. They have some sort of combination of colors, and I just love them. I have queen lime reds, queen lime oranges, and some queen lime blush. I will put the name of the varieties here on the screen, but I basically grab a few packets of zinnias and I just spread them around. Sadly, half of the zinnias, when they were very tiny, got eaten by roly-polies, but the ones that made it are definitely filling out here, and I am really happy with the result. When you have a bouquet of just zinnias, they make a huge statement, and I love all of the colors that are happening in this bouquet. What I'm going to do is that I am going to bring them inside. I'm going to keep them in water, and they will probably last a good 7 to 10 days inside, and I'll make sure to change the water every couple of days just so they don't die quickly. Technology is amazing, but only if you know how to use it. I just shot half of this video, or almost all of it, with my microphone off. So I was talking a lot at the beginning, but you guys will not get to see that because obviously everything was silent. So this area right here where I have my zinnias and where I have my cattle panel wall used to be covered by honeysuckles, and as I mentioned before in another video, those honeysuckles die with the winter temperatures. And because I didn't know, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to replace them here, I just decided to go with some vine, some sort of edible or even ornamental vine. But I chose butternut squash. I love growing butternut squash, and I think that from year one I started growing butternut squash because I just love it. Surprisingly, I only have one recipe that I make with them, and I know that a lot of people use them for cooking and soups and whatnot, but I see butternut squash as a dessert. There is really only one that I have. I make atole de calabaza, which is, well, I'm not really sure what that will be, what you guys in the US will have, that it will be somewhat close. I'm sure that you guys have something like that, I just don't know what it is, but it's a hot, thick, creamy, sweet drink. And I have been making that drink since my kids were little, and we love it. It's basically, I skin the butternut squash, I cut it in huge pieces, and I boil it with cinnamon, vanilla, piloncillo, which is like the hard sugar. Once the butternut squash is nice and soft, I add either half and half or milk, and I smash all of it together, and I boil it again, and it's a nice creamy drink. It's really a dessert. And I can make atole with corn, with pineapple, and it's just a really nice drink for winter. So I am going to wait until all of these guys are ready to be harvested, and then I'm going to bring them inside, and then that's what I'll be using them for the winter time. But my biggest worry right now with having the butternut squash growing in these trellis, growing vertically, is that the fruit can get really heavy, and they can rip or they can fall off the vine early before they're even ready to be harvested because of the weight. So what I'm going to be using today, now that they are big and heavy, I am going to be using these melon cradles from Bootstrap Farmer. And there are a lot of ways that you can support your fruit, your watermelon, your squashes, when they are growing vertically. People use some sort of fabric, some sort of cheese fabric. People even have some sort of containers that they can hook onto whatever trellis they have to support that fruit. Honestly, what I'm looking for is the easiest thing that I can find, that I am going to be able to reuse year after year, and that it's not going to, you know, be falling apart after the first season that I use it. So these things, these are cradles, and these are so darn cute. I already show you how I am using these guys for my baby sugar watermelons, which, by the way, I am absolutely enjoy it. This is my first time growing baby sugar watermelons, and they're really good. They have these two sizes, and I am using the small size for my baby sugar watermelons, but because of these guys are a little bit bigger, and they will still continue to grow, because I'm actually not going to harvest these guys until maybe late September, maybe even October, when they're nice and thick skin. I am going to be using the large size, and they have on their website, they have specifications on what you can use them, but things like watermelon, pumpkins, and big squashes, you can use the large ones. And these little guys, you can use them for small watermelon, like the personal watermelons and other smaller things. So I am going to be using these guys to support my butternut squash. And a lot of people, whatever they use to support their fruit, they use either zip ties or D-rings. I am going to be using these S hooks. And these are perfect for me because I can just hook them wherever I need to. And if I need to undo this easily to check on the fruit, I can do that. And if I was using zip ties, I don't know that I'll be able to do that easily, but these guys are also super heavy duty. I got these at Lowe's, and they are going to last me forever. So now that I have my butternut squash ready to go, I don't have to worry about the fruit getting too big for the vines and just falling off before they're ready to be harvested. Now I am good to go. I will just continue to water these guys, and I know that I have a couple of little baby butternut squashes. They're not quite big yet to put into the melons. I wanted to get it slightly bigger so they can fit nicely there. If you're interested in knowing where you can purchase this, I'm going to have links below. And if you know, I have a bunch of things already from Bootstrap Farmer. I have a bunch of containers, trays for seed starting that I just love. Thank you for being here, you guys, and until the next time.